comments of a makeup look I posted. Leilani, you should go on Love Island. You're basically saying I should go to jail because I would crash out. I would crash out. Today we're recreating an Islanders makeup look. Can we guess who we're doing? We are recreating Olandria'S everyday makeup. I'll insert a picture right here. Let's get to it. I typically elongate my brows a little more, but I refrained from that today. And I gave it a little extra arch and made them thicker than my typical brow. Olandria wears a lot of concealer and I love a lot of concealer, okay? Bobbi Brown eye base, always. Now she definitely does a warmer under eye than I would typically go for, so I'm gonna replicate that today. We have my Kosas concealer and this is much darker than I would go, so we're gonna layer a lighter one on top. This is just to bring that warmth. Now that the under eyes are warmed up with that first concealer, we're going in with the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and this is definitely brighter, but not the brightest I'm gonna go in with today. I feel like she definitely does that V shape as well, just seeing the way that the concealer lays. And although her under eyes are warmer, they are still very bright, so I'm going with my brightest shade of the Too Faced concealer. And we are applying a lot today. I love a strong under eye. Since we are working with a lot of concealers today, I'm gonna go ahead and spray my Balboa White Truffle First Serum Spray on my beauty sponge, just so all of those concealers can seamlessly melt together and there is no cakiness. Here are the under eyes. I feel like we did a really good job at replicating that. Olandria'S skin is naturally flawless, so I'm just gonna go in with a gel tint. This one is from Milk, just to give even coverage with real looking skin without caking on too much foundation. Foundation is blended in. I did realize that she doesn't wear any concealer on her forehead or chin. From what I can tell, all the focus is under the eyes. But for bronzer, I've been waiting to try this out. The new Natasha Denona Hy-Sculp liquid bronzers. I'm going in with shade Dawn Dark because I feel like the shade before is just a little too light for me. My girl Olandria is a naturally bronzed queen, so we have to add that bronze. Natasha Denona, this liquid bronzer, chef's kiss. Look how soft and sculpted. Like that blended in like a dream. There is zero streaks. Beautiful. For blush, okay, so I've seen Olandria wear a pinky blush and a berry blush. I'm gonna go ahead and mix the two today. We have the new Tilbury Unreal blush sticks. I'm gonna place shade Cherry towards the back and shade Pinky Glow towards the apples. This sheen right here is exactly why I fell in love with these blushes, and it gives that 3D effect. Now that is an Olandria blush combo if I ever did see one. Okay, it's time to set the face. I definitely am gonna go in with a yellowy banana powder under the eyes. This one's from Tower 28. I'm gonna press that under the eye and in my T-zone because we always set with a pressed powder before we bake. And I'm gonna quickly bronze because I always bronze before I bake. Bronze with my Armani Luminous Silk Bronzing Powder. For this bake, we need to pop open the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Powder in Blondie. This definitely has a much warmer undertone than my typical baking powder that I would go with. I think this is gonna do it. This is gonna do it. I'm gonna bake along the sides of the nose where we contoured. Now, just like the concealer, I'm only putting it under the eyes and not my forehead and chin like I would typically do. Now to dust off, I'm taking this dense powder brush and I'm gonna first pat it into the skin before swiping away. I'm gonna pack on some of this Rare Beauty blush in Thriving just because that powder took away a little bit of blush. Okay, yes. Yes. Before we move on to the eyes, I want to lock everything into place. So I'm going to set with my Anastasia setting spray and my One Size waterproof setting spray. For the eyes, I'm going to keep them simple with a brown base. And then of course that cat eye, that iconic winged eyeliner. I'm going to take shade Matte 5, which is this warm nutmeg brown. And I'm going to lay that straight on the lids. And I'm gonna take the shade Matte 1 right above that just to diffuse it into the lid. All right, we have the base on the eyes. She has some black going on right above her lash line, but first we're just gonna get the liner down. This is my Rare Beauty liquid liner, and I'm just gonna do a wing. Just like that, nothing too crazy. And depending on the episode, she may or may not have an inner cat eye, and I love me an inner cat eye, so we're gonna do one. Boom, baby, just like that. Take my Valentino Beauty Colorgraph pencil in black. I'm gonna go ahead and tightline and waterline because she definitely has some depth on her waterlines. All right, lashes need to be done now. And in Love Island sponsor fashion, we're going in with the Maybelline Colossal Bubble Mascara. This is so good. I'm gonna pack this on and then I'm gonna add some fake lashes to mimic the lashes that Olandria wears. 2 coats. Look how good. All throughout the season, I noticed that Olandria'S lashes do look like lash extensions, and they do get thicker right here towards the end, which I love to do already. I'll be taking these lashes and I'm gonna custom make this lash set. Okay, so I stacked on 3 individuals and the rest is just mascara. I'm going in with this Goldish Champagne highlighter from NARS. This is in the shade Ophelia, and I'm just focusing that right above the apples, a little bit higher up. I did notice that Olandria doesn't wear too much highlighter, so I'm keeping it subtle with a little bit on the nose and bridge. All right, we are almost done. Now I'm going in with the lips. I noticed Olandria has a brown lip liner on and keeps the center pretty bare, pretty pinky, and always glossy. Okay, she got them juicy lips. Going in with this NARS lip liner in the shade Spunk. Don't mind me doing a little overlining, okay? And I'm just gonna sort of blend that in so that it blends seamlessly because we we are not gonna have anything else on the lip but our bare lips and a gloss. When I think of a really glossy lip gloss oil type vibe, I'm thinking of the Huda Beauty new jelly lip oils, okay? This one's in Juicy Goji, and I'm just gonna cover the lips with this. Yes, this is exactly what I was imagining. All right, what do you guys think? Here is Olandria from Love Island's Everyday Island Makeup Look. And I'm not mad at the warm under eyes. It's kind of a vibe, okay? I love the lip, I love the wing, I love the blush. Everyone's worried about who's gonna win. I'm worried about what foundation they use, okay?